This is To the Rescue Authentic Networking. I'm Jennifer Johnson, Executive Director of TTR Networking and a relationship marketing coach. This show is all about the authentic business networking, relationship building, and the success strategies used by our members to grow their businesses and give back to local nonprofits. Be sure to stay up to date. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the bell to get notifications of new episodes, and please visit our website www.ttrnetworking.com. Now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Rescue, our authentic networking videocast. I am Nicole Williams, along with my co-host, Dawn Evans Casey, and Jennifer Johnson. Hey, Jennifer, how's it going?
It's going well. You're laughing like you laugh every week. You get more giggly every time. Isn't it fun, though? We have fun. I'm just giving you a hard time. Today, we actually have a local licensed health insurance agent and TTR member, I gotta say, Nancy Vesely. And Nancy looks like she's in front of the world. Isn't that what you said this morning? Yeah,
sitting on top of
almost on top of the world. She's kind of in the middle of the world, but it looks really cool. Nancy, we're glad you're here today, and we thank you. And yeah, we've known you for a few years because you've been a member for a while. We want to we're going to start out. The basic questions are, please. Well, I'm reading it verbatim, and I told you we were going to do that. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how the state of COVID has influenced, or has it? I mean, some of our guests, they haven't been affected at all, but some have been really a lot affected. So go ahead, take it away.
Okay. Based on my continued excellent timing in my life, I got my insurance license in March of 2020.
Okay.
So we can tell what happened then with the beginning of 2020. Needless to say, meeting people got to be really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And the people I was meeting, I had a problem approaching them about health insurance because some of them didn't have a job. And, I know I've got things that could help them, but they had other bigger issues on their plate. And I did not want to approach it. And in some ways it was kind of bad that I could have helped them, but otherwise I could not live with myself for saying, hey, give me your money so I can give you health insurance. And we don't care if you have food, or the kids have to go without. So I had a real problem last year to begin with.
Yeah.
Finding new clients in the middle of a COVID is not easy.
No.
And I had a problem talking to people. So I decided to rejoin TTR in November.
Woo-hoo! Oh, sorry.
And it has really helped me meet people who are working their own business. And that's what I like. I mean, we're all sharing, we're all trying to do better and do our own business. And we're also working for other jobs in a lot of cases, but
right.
You're trying to do your own thing, which is really a good point to go to.
Yeah. So this actually, I know you, we know you. Well, Nicole, I don't think knew you, but Dawn and I've known you for a while, but maybe you're going to tell us, but what were you doing before? I mean, you got the health insurance last year, and what were you doing? You've been networking for years. You've been in sales of some sort, right?
I've been networking for years. In my spare time, my 8 to 5 job, I sell metal. I sell tungsten heavy alloy, a little niche metal for aerospace and medical applications. And I've done that for like 20 years. So I know the clients, I know what they need. I know what they can't do and what they can do with the material. And that's what I've been doing. But it's not personal. I like to sell something that would help people, okay, so they can make their parts and ship them out. But I'd rather help them with their insurance needs or fill gaps in their insurance policies that would help if something bad happened. That's what I'd rather do, is help individuals.
Well, you're doing a good job, and I'm just glad you came back. I think it takes a special person. I mean, I did insurance for, everybody knows it, but I didn't do it anymore because it takes a really special person to do it. So thank you for doing that, because especially you work with people on health insurance and Medicare supplements and stuff, right? Which is a very, yeah, so wow, the health insurance industry is very fortunate to have you. I just wanted to make sure people knew kind of where you came from, you know, where the background was. So I kind of took that out of order, but we're just glad, and we're glad you're part of TTR because you're very, very much a you know, committed member. So Nicole, I know I took it out of order, but go ahead.
Well, I am so excited. I don't know Nancy as long as y'all know her, but it's so cool. I mean, we had like we do one-on-ones in the groups, and we had a great one when we found out that we could throw a stone really far if we were like the Bionic Man and reach each other. You know, we both were in the same town. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So lots in common. Our love for pets. I have probably the kind of pet that tracks her pet.
I was gonna say,
we'll keep them apart. but it's just I'm so glad that you are doing our video cast with us today, and we're going to learn more about you. My question is all about authenticity, being genuine, what it means to you and your business. If you can tell us a little about that.
Being authentic means trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
I do no harm to the people I talk to regarding insurance. I do what is best for them, not necessarily what is best for me. You know, I don't need to get 5 policies on the books tomorrow. And if what I offer is the same as what I think they're at, I'll offer it to them, but I'll tell them straight out, hey, you're in a good plan right where you are. And as a matter of fact, some of the Medicare people I was there for like over an hour, and we went through their plans, we went through their medicine, and it was like, you are on the best plan. The stuff that it covers this year is going to be covered just as much next year. And I suggest you just stay where you are. And so that's what I like to do. I like to make sure that I do no harm, and I do leave them better than I found them. Okay. So in some cases it will be offering them what would help them. And in some cases it's like, hey, you've got good coverage right now, just stay where you are. So that's what I think being authentic means.
Yeah, definitely. When you have somebody that says that, you're like, oh, thank God. Thank God there's good people out there. Definitely. Good job.
Most definitely. I want to say welcome to the video cast, Nancy. I happen to know Nancy for what feels to be quite a while now, and happy to see you back with TTR. Happy to have you in my group, Collaborating Connections. My question for you is, I know you mentioned that COVID posed a challenge for making connections, to engage people, to talk to them, to share what you do and how you can help. So what have you found, even before COVID and now, what have you found to be the best methods of connecting with potential clients, customers who may need your help, or people who can, of course, easily pass on your information to those who need you?
Thank you, Dawn. The best way I find to get new business is by referrals of my current clients or people that I've talked to, and I've sat down and I walked through their policy and left them where they are. I just say, hey, do you know anybody else that could use some help? And they would suggest people, or they would have people call me later on. That would be one way. Now that TTR opens up, you have a whole slew of people that you can have one-on-ones on and talk to them and see what they think, and see if they know anybody that they can send to you, or they can refer to contact me to see about health insurance needs that they have.
Great.
I would definitely throw in there my insurance background. Boy, you need to meet with somebody. What is it, Nancy? 10,000? No. How many people are turning 65 every day? There's a tsunami of A lot.
Tsunami.
But I mean, they used to call it the tsunami of it was coming because there were so many baby boomers that were turning 65 every day. I mean, it's some ungodly number, and and if you think maybe as we're sitting here, ladies, I remember my Medicare days very well, but the idea that there's all these people out there have no idea. They have no idea whether, and they don't sit down with somebody. I hate to even admit it, I'm saying it on the video, but I think I get still paid on some Medicare that I don't even know if the person is, even, I don't know what they're doing. If they're still on that plan, oh my gosh, they should be meeting with Nancy. You know what I mean? Because I haven't helped them in years, so I have no idea what they're doing. But there are people out there may think, oh, I've got the best plan, or they think they're locked in for some reason. Anyway. That is, I guess it's were you done, Dawn? Sorry.
I was just going to add, as part of the video, I know that Nancy is a wealth of information. So she's great to meet with one-on-one, as well as in a group setting, just to share the knowledge about insurance in general that gets people thinking, do I have enough? Do I have what I need?
Exactly.
And then that may proceed into a more intimate one-on-one type of discussion as well. But Nancy's great on all those fronts. So just keep doing what you do.
Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely. Well, that was a good tail end of what I just said. I didn't mean to, but I just wanted to throw it out there that you need to meet with somebody. So why not meet with Nancy? Nancy, I think I might know the answer to the question, but how did you find TTR? And you can tell us which group, because we all know, but our listeners don't, or our viewers don't. And then what was it that attracted you about TTR? But it's also, and then I kind of wrap it into, do you have a story about TTR that maybe is panned into something good? And if you don't have it about TTR, do you have a networking story that would be interesting? You might have thought it had to be TTR. I always tell people, I'm not paying you or anything, so whatever story you want to share is good. But how did you find us, I guess, to begin with?
I don't know how I found you back in
whichever
2016, but when I was in TTR before, I was driving down to Greenwood once a week because I really enjoyed the membership. Dawn was in there with us.
Yeah.
And then I left a few years thinking, I don't really need networking because everybody's buying metal. So then I was shopping at Kroger one day in Noblesville, and this crazy lady walks up to me and she pulls her mask down. Oh my God, it's Jennifer. And it was like, oh my God, and I was thinking, I was just thinking about you because I was thinking, I need to get back to networking because I'm selling health insurance and I'm not talking to very many people in my house.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So I took it as a sign that I should come back to TTR.
A great sign, especially it's me. I did that to Karen Stern. It's me. Who are you?
Isn't it kind of creepy that you don't know? You see people's eyes, but you don't see their whole face.
You can't tell if you know them or you don't know them. I do that all the time.
But I do that to some people. But Nancy, I kind of did remember that part. That's why I was afraid you're going to say. But go ahead. What do you like about it? Or is it just that I won't let you leave?
No, I like a couple things I like about TTR is the non-for-profit part of it, where we give back to the community. And I think that's a big part of it. The more you give, the more you're going to get back in return. And that's a big part of TTR that I really like. I like the people. I like meeting with them.
Cool.
Things happen for a reason.
Yeah, they do.
And I believe I was meant to rejoin TTR after I met the crazy lady at Kroger.
Wait a minute, I'm laughing.
I attended a couple of the meetings, and then I attended one of Dawn's collaborating connections. And I really liked the group that was in there because there are a bunch of entrepreneurs like me working 9 by 5 jobs. and trying to get their own business up and going. And it's
Right.
like, that's, we're all in the same boat. And I mean, that's a very big thing, that people are out there and we can do it. And I'm not a morning person, so that 6 o'clock time in the evening really, really was another kicker.
Yeah. Well, and Dawn's pretty darn good at leading too. I mean, she keeps everybody on, and I would say that if she was on or not. So that's,
Yeah.
what was I going to say about that? So, Nancy, can you sell to anybody? I'm taking questions out of order. Or are you Indiana at this point?
Indiana, I've only got a license in Indiana at this time, so.
But there are agents all over that are part of your network. So if you, I guess I'm just always thinking if there's somebody outside that, you know, because there are people outside of our area. Hard to believe, ladies, but there are. Well, that's good. I think that's cool. But they should definitely have somebody help them with their insurance.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I think that's good. Dawn, I think it's your turn.
All right. Well, I heard, Nancy, that you mentioned one of the things that you really liked about TTR networking was the support and involvement with nonprofits. So that segues right into my question. The nonprofit connection with TTR is a big tenet of our organization. Not only do we grow and develop business owners, managers, entrepreneurs, and help their businesses thrive, but we desire to give back to the community and help nonprofits also be successful and thrive and help. So it's a big thing. Tell me, what nonprofits are you interested in supporting? And if you can share any of the nonprofit support efforts that you have participated in with TTR.
Okay, so being a parrot owner, and there's not too many parrot rescues in the area. There's a parrot rescue called A Place to Call Home down in Connorsville, Indiana. I support them financially and with donations through the year, because we need more parrot rescues, and because parrots live a long time and chances are they outlive the person that started with them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's that one. And then the other one that I really have to say I appreciate is Toastmasters. Also a not-for-profit organization, and they teach communication, leadership, and public speaking skills. And so in some cases, I've given memberships to people that could use the skills. Yeah. And by attending Toastmasters, their personal self-confidence really gets improved very well.
Toastmasters. That's interesting. I mean, have you ladies, anybody else? Nancy, did you take Toastmasters? Were you part of it?
I'm part of multiple clubs.
Are you? I didn't know that. That's cool.
Professor Jim is in Toastmasters too.
There you go.
I think I wonder, maybe y'all might be in the same one. I think maybe his is an Avon or something, but it's really cool. I attended one virtually. It's
well,
really interesting.
I don't know if I did mine virtually. I think I did it in person, but I remember it being very, very good. I just didn't know you were part of it, Nancy. That's really cool. See the little things we find out about each other when we do these. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Very good. Nicole?
Thank you. Okay, so our audience, our watchers are probably wondering, how can I get in touch with Nancy? Could you tell us what the best way is, or a couple ways we can find you?
You can either find me by giving me a call. Number is 317-750-2119. Give me a call. We'll just get some information on you, and then we could schedule another meeting after I do some research on what I would suggest would help you in your situation. Email is nvesely@ihscsb.com. Ooh, got to get that right. And I can give you a call back and we can talk.
Cool.
That is awesome. And then also our website, the www.ttrnetworking.com, and you are under Collaborating Connections, Nancy Vesely. And I want to spell your last name, Vesely, Vesely. Something else too, I want to just take a quick
Sure.
moment. I think I'm out of order. Sorry, y'all. But
No. Go ahead. I'm happy you have.
So I was like, what on earth is she going to say? We would like to invite our audience to visit one of our 14 networking groups. Right now, most of these are virtual, Zoom. And let's see, we meet virtually. We'd love to connect with you, learn how we can meet with you, help you grow your business. And you can just go ahead to the www.ttrnetworking.com, because there's a contact form, or is it better that they email you directly?
No, there's a contact form on there. They can do that.
Yay, just let us know. I mean, every week we've got 14 groups meeting. So.
And I guess what I would say right now, we have 2 different groups represented, because I don't lead a group. I just kind of pop in and out of them. But we've got Nancy Dawn leads the group, but it's Collaborating Connections, which she just talked about. So that's it. And you know what? Actually, the things that you just said were the positives, were the reason some people wouldn't go to that group. Not because of Dawn or anything, but because of the time. But you have a full-time day job that you're trying to work this around. And, you know, you're just looking at it as a networking, communicating with other human beings, where some people are kind of looking at it, oh, it's 6 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Why would I want to go to that? Well, you just, you know, networking is work.
It meets your schedule. And because like our 14 groups, that's what's neat. We have some that meet at 8:30. We have some at noon. We have, you know, so we have a listing of them on the website, and you can kind of see, you know, what is in there and what works.
Good little PR there, Nicole. Good job. Yeah, but the Collaborating Connections, and then Nicole's actually part of our newest group. What's that called?
The Building Beyond Networking with Monica Dorsey is our leader. So I kind of help her in the background, co-lead. But we meet on Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Eastern time.
Eastern. You know, I almost said that.
Well, you never know. I mean, we've had a few events. Dawn had an event not too long ago. She had somebody from the UK or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
So people are finding us. So yeah, cool. But let's see. Did we miss anything? Anything, Dawn? Anything, Nicole? Before I ask Nancy to give us her final thoughts. I do think it's really interesting, Nancy, if you could for just a minute, you are a parrot owner. Tell us about that briefly. Do you have 1 or do you have 2 right now?
No, I got 3.
Oh, you got 3. Okay.
I got 3.
And how did, okay, so there's a little story there, isn't there?
Parrot ownership was because as a younger girl, I read a article from Irene Pepperberg about, she was a professor that at, I think, Purdue or some other college, and she had picked up an African gray parrot, just a standard. She had the person at the pet store pick one out for her, and she took him, and he lived 30 years in her laboratories.
Wow.
And she's the one that discovered they had the IQ of a 5-year-old.
Oh.
And that just started me on my parrot history, and I've just tried different breeds, and that's what I'm doing. And it's like, it's not for everybody. They're not the neatest of pets. Oh, but they've got interesting personalities. And the newest one I got, Eli, he's got a vocabulary that's really extensive. And yesterday I'm turning out the lights and he says something in a man's voice. Scared me to death.
I guess. Oh my gosh. Well,
did he say turn it back on?
I don't even know what he said. I knew it was a man's voice and it was coming from in the bird room.
Well, my gosh. And now you're saying they have an IQ of a 5-year-old. It's kind of like you have a talent, I don't want to say handicapped, but kind of an adult. I mean, you've got, because they can live for, what did you say, 30 years?
40, 50 years.
40.
Something. Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't know all of that, but when you were talking about a place to call home and parrots live a long time, I didn't know how long that was. Wow. So think about that. Think about if you had a 5-year-old for 40 to 50 years. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else. I just thought that was a kind of an interesting, to Nancy, hopefully it makes sense. I don't know. It just was that, wow. So that is really cool. I don't know that I knew that about you when you were a member before, but since you've been part of it, this last year, it's been like, wow, that is really, so I think that's cool.
Part of the authenticity when we're having our Zoom calls, Nancy's animals
yes,
are sometimes involved as well. So we certainly do get to know her on a very authentic level, but we love it. We absolutely love it. It's very entertaining.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is not just Nancy, the insurance agent. It's Nancy, the parrot owner, and, all the things that go into that. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. I know that you are on calls with her more than I am, Dawn, though. Go ahead. Well, actually, I think our closing question for you, Nancy, and now that you've shared your parrot, there's so much that goes into what you're doing, and what's a final thought? I mean, it could be business, it could be it can be whatever. I mean, this has been a crazy year for so many of us. Nobody is above it. So what can you give us to leave today with?
Okay. Again, I'm going to push Think Like a Monk, the book
I've never heard that.
by Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty.
Love
And
that.
the one line that I got for my meditation last night was, doing the right thing when no one else is doing it is still always right.
Love it.
Doing the wrong thing, even if everybody else is still doing it, is always wrong.
Oh, wow.
So you're selecting to live with qualities that bring you inner peace, inner focus, and inner stillness, or you're selecting to live with qualities that bring you imbalance, disruption, or anxiety. It's your choice.
Love that. I heard from Kathy Heller, Shetty. Shetty. She's a big fan of his. But oh my God, I love that. I love that, Nancy.
Jay Shetty, is it spelled Shetty?
Yeah.
And
he's got a podcast too.
Okay, so podcaster, that's probably why but the basic, what is he? Is he a motivational speaker then?
He used to be a monk. Now he's a motivational speaker.
Oh,
yeah, there's a good story. I don't remember the story, but there's a good story.
Interesting. Okay. Used to be a monk. Okay, well, that's interesting in itself. Well, I knew when you said think like a monk, I'm like, well, there must be a monk story in there, but I didn't know that he was a monk. Wow. Well, that was great. Thank you very much. I think that kind of mic drop, right?
Yes. Well, I'll take this moment to thank everybody watching and thank Nancy so much for being our guest today. And until next time, may all your days be filled with authenticity. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Jennifer.
Oh, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. You know what? Hold on. Sorry.